bout that has the makings of an all-action affair. Former IBF super featherweight champion Carlos Famoso Hernandez will go against a familiar boxing surname. He's Bobby Pacquiao, and it's a fight that could serve as a springboard to title contention. It has not been an easy road for Bobby Pacquiao. 16 months younger than his more well-known brother, former world champ Manny Pacquiao. Bobby, with his older brother, grew up in very difficult conditions in the Philippines, but while Manny has made a comfortable transition, Bobby still struggles living in a little shack with his wife and two babies trying to make ends meet. Apparently, Bobby just too proud to ask for help from Manny. Ring-wise, Bobby, like Manny, is a southpaw, comes off his career best win, a 7th-round knockout of Carlos Navarro. And tonight, Steve, he really wants to prove that he belongs. He wants to prove how good he is.
Well, Steve, I think we're going to find out just how good he is because, all right, he's making a huge jump up in class. We understand that. But he's given himself the best chance to be at his best because he's been training in California with Freddie Roach. That's a huge advantage as opposed to training in the Philippines.
And Freddie Roach wasn't sure at first if Pacquiao's heart was truly in it, but he feels now that he's got the right attitude. He's got a lot of confidence since the win over Navarro, an embrace from his brother earlier, Manny Pacquiao. Bobby is 7-1-1 in his last 9 fights. And he knows he's up against it tonight against a seasoned pro, 13-year veteran Carlos Famoso Hernandez. But Bobby looking very confident. Behind him is the highly regarded trainer from Los Angeles, Freddie Roach. And here is the Salvadoran American, Famoso Hernandez. His parents from El Salvador, where he is a national hero, a friend of presidents who often come see him fight. The first and only world champion of Salvadoran descent, coming off a stirring affair, a close split decision loss to Jesus Chavez a few weeks after the first Castillo-Corrales fight. Had a blistering slugfest that drew raves. Hernandez is, Steve, one of those classic, old-fashioned, throwback-type fighters who never backs up. I think the last jab he threw was in 1997.
I think you're right, Steve, exactly. You know, this guy first challenged for a world title 8 years ago, and he's been facing nothing but top junior lightweights ever since. Eric Morales, Floyd Mayweather, and now Hernandez. He's been incredibly consistent. He's incredibly exciting because he's always coming forward and throwing punches. And you know what? There's not a more honest fighter right now in the game, Steve.
He's honest, he's classy, he's dignified, a true professional. When Jesus Chavez was announced as the winner in that tremendous brawl 5 months ago, Hernandez applauded him. And he wanted to let the fans out there know that he's dedicating this fight to those suffering from a recent hurricane and volcano in El Salvador. So he does some last-minute praying. Carlos Famoso Hernandez will be taking on Bobby Pacquiao. There's the Salvadoran flag. He calls himself a Salvadoran American, although he was raised in California, also lives in West Covina, California. He says, you know what, I got to do it now because I'm running out of time. I turned 35 in January.
And 35, Steve, for this weight class is very old.
He also says he's getting hungry. He's in a very light weight class and he's tired of holding back, you know. He wants to eat more. He also wants to get into some business and get on with his life. But another title or two wouldn't hurt. So there he is, Famoso Hernandez, who is getting ready to do battle with Bobby Pacquiao. Let's size them up as we check out the tail of the tape. Biggest disparity in age. Hernandez turns 35 in January, as we said, 9 years older than Pacquiao. The height nearly even. 4-inch reach advantage for Pacquiao. At yesterday's weigh-in, Hernandez 132, Pacquiao 130. There is some flexibility on the scales in a non-title affair. And the key rules for this fight: there's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fight's ruled a no decision. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, getting ready for Carlos Hernandez versus Bobby Pacquiao. Super featherweight scheduled for 10 rounds. Let's get the introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Thomas and Mack Center here on the campus of UNLV in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we have a big night of action in store for you, and it's all brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions and Top Rank Incorporated in association with Caesars Palace, Wynn Resorts, and Showtime. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we present a special attraction coming your way. Introducing to you first our three judges, all from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Dwayne Ford, Chuck Jumpa, and Robert Hoyle. Introducing to you our third man to the ring, the referee in charge of this action, Toby Gibson. All right, fans, here we go with a super featherweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks, representing the fine fighting tradition from General Santos City, Mindanao in the Philippines. He weighed in at an even 130 pounds with a record of 25 wins, 11 losses, and 3 draws. He has 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, he is ranked the WBC number 14 super featherweight contender. Introducing Bobby Pacquiao. And his opponent across the ring on my left. He is fighting out of the red corner in this 10-round attraction, wearing black trunks with blue and white trim, proudly representing Soyapango, San Salvador, El Salvador. He weighed in at 132 pounds. His record, 41 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw, with 24 wins coming by way of knockout. He is currently ranked the WBC number 4 super featherweight contender. Please welcome the former IBF junior lightweight champion of the world, introducing Carlitos Famoso Hernandez. Once again, a referee in charge, Toby Gibson, now to give instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, I've given your instructions prior to this fight in your respective dressing rooms. I'm considering this a legal punch on both boxers. I've watched you both fight in the past. Pay attention to the heads inside. Hitting on the hips is considered a low blow. So keep it clean inside. Good luck to both of you.
The super lightweight and lightweight divisions among boxing's most talented and exciting, but watch out for the super featherweights. Hoping to make some noise tonight is Carlos Hernandez, number 4 contender, and a fighter trying to step out from his brother's shadow is left-hander Bobby Pacquiao, a fringe contender, highest rating number 14, only his 3rd fight here in the United States. He has fought mainly in his homeland of the Philippines. Not in the same league as Manny in terms of overall athleticism, physical gifts, and heart, the qualities that make Manny such a superb world-class fighter, but both very motivated, very hungry to get into the mix in what truly has become a hot division and a deep division, 130 pounds, enjoying what you might call a golden era. Hernandez, a real battler, a stalker. He's really not interested in boxing. He's not a big jabber.
And don't think that Pacquiao's movement necessarily will bother Hernandez. He's used to it. Everybody moves away from the guy. But Pacquiao and his trainer, Freddie Roach, feel that Pacquiao's jab is the key from that southpaw stance.
Pacquiao in the red, Hernandez in the old-fashioned short shorts in the black with the blue trim. Pacquiao, no amateur career, started boxing when he was 17, relatively late. He is not a banger. He does have a crowd-pleasing, action-packed style, though. But he needs to throw a steadier jab. Freddie Roach said that would be the key for him tonight. the jab.
So far, Steve, he hasn't really been effective with it. Not much on Pacquiao's punches, but he is staying away. It's not as if Hernandez is getting inside yet.
Hernandez is straight ahead, almost a pit bull mentality. Very busy. Really lets his hands go, gets in close. Often head to head, shoulder to shoulder. Lethal inside where he lands his best power. It was a good right hand by Pacquiao.
And he moved away smart. Land and get away.
Hernandez, as you will see, very willing to trade, and as you also see, keeps a fast pace. Both fighters with a lot of heart and courage. Hernandez with a terrific chin, very game. Never been stopped. All 5 losses on points.
Steve, Pacquiao's being somewhat effective with his movement and his boxing, but I'll tell you why. All the power in the family went to Manny. That I could see already.
Yeah, Freddie Roach said he's going to have to outbox Hernandez. That's his thing. Hernandez more of a banger, as mentioned. Hernandez with the left hand. Final seconds of round 1. It's scheduled for 10. Will the southpaw style give Carlos some difficulty? Not a bad opening round for Bobby Pacquiao.
Can't save you on this one, Carl.
Look for the 1, 2, 3 to the body and then get out to the side. Don't pull straight back, okay?
Maganda sa'yo ang uppercut, okay? Tapos alis ka agad, ha?
Deep breath.
Alis ka agad, tapos balik bigla.
Pacquiao, to be effective, has to land from the outside and get away. Exactly what he did. 1, 2, 3, step back. Freddie Roach doesn't want him stepping straight back. Step off to the side so he doesn't get hit by counter punches. Another look at it. Watch Pacquiao. He's at the distance he wants to be. 3-punch combination, and he steps back and Hernandez lands the right. That's exactly the formula for him.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
So a good start for Bobby Pacquiao as we enter round 2. Body shot digging in by Pacquiao. Oh, a straight right that landed on the head by Hernandez. Some wicked exchanges here.
Seems Hernandez turning up the pace just a little bit because he's getting close now. He didn't in the first round. He is here.
He's a clean fighter. He doesn't bend the rules. Sometimes makes the mistake of looking for that one punch. Right uppercut by Pacquiao, but blocked.
Yeah, Steve, Hernandez not a one-punch guy at all. Not a big puncher. He wears you down. And if he can, he'll do his work to the body and start thinking about winning this fight in the second half. Not right now.
Two fights back versus Juan Carlos Ramirez. Hernandez badly cut over the right eye from an accidental clash of heads in the 3rd round. Blood cascading down, but he hasn't been bothered by it since. Said it will not be a factor. But that a fight that truly demonstrated Hernandez's will to win under duress. Straight left hand there that got through by Pacquiao.
I just see arm punches, though. He's landing some shots. And he's landing them from the outside, Pacquiao, where he wants to be, but I just don't see much steam on his shots.
Freddie Roach likes the fact that Pacquiao is more dedicated, working harder of late. Oh, nice combination by Bobby Pacquiao.
And he's found a home for that uppercut. That's been his best punch.
Punch it out. Punch it out.
He does have some speed and some power, but There's no question that the power department is more in Manny's fist. Good right hand that sent Pacquiao's head back. Hernandez coming on a little more now. More aggressive, those shots away at the head. All of a sudden, Famoso getting the wake-up call.
Yeah, and it's the first time in the fight in 2 rounds, Steve, that Hernandez has been able to position Pacquiao against the ropes.
Back comes Pacquiao, though. And down goes Hernandez.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give me your gloves.
Carlos Hernandez down for only the 2nd time in his career. The first time against Moises Pedrosa. He came back to win in the 2nd round on a knockout.
Yeah. How you feel? Carlos, you gotta drop down. Estás muy paradote. Listo. You gotta drop down. Calm down a little bit. When you come on the attack, that's muy paradote. So you gotta calm down. Calm down. You gotta come up the middle with those right hands. Not overhands. You gotta go with straight right hands. Understand? Straight right hands.
Trainer Rudy Hernandez telling his fighter, you got to get down, meaning you got to get low. Watch the southpaw left hand. Hernandez standing straight up there. One of the reasons he got hit. Take another look. Amazes me. And Hernandez was stepping forward. He really stepped right into that punch. It amazes me southpaws always able to land the left hand as if the orthodox fighter just doesn't see it coming. Watch Hernandez straight up, starting his own left hand. Pacquiao quicker to the trigger. 2nd knockdown of Carlos Hernandez's career, Steve.
A flash knockdown. We'll see if it has any effect as we head into round 3.
Come on, punch and get out. Punch and get out.
From the standpoint of being beneficial, it happened at least at the end of the round for Hernandez, and he didn't have to wait all round to recover.
But think of what that did for his confidence. Here he is fighting the best opponent of his life. He's got him hurt again.
Pacquiao goes to work. Bobby Pacquiao looking extremely impressive all over Carlos Hernandez. And he is landing with these shots.
Hernandez's corner wants him to get low. All he's doing is putting himself right in the way of those uppercuts.
Punch and get out. Let's go.
So coming off a 10-8 round of the 2nd, another tremendous round for Pacquiao, who continues to score.
Hernandez getting beaten up here. We'll see if he comes back, but I'll tell you, this is a fighter who took the best of Mayweather, Eric Morales. I mean, he's been in with the best. He's gone the distance with the best. And now against this relative neophyte who hasn't...
Back comes Hernandez, Steve. 2 good right hands. It backs up Pacquiao, but then Pacquiao comes straight forward again. Oh, a tremendous round. Right uppercut grazed. Back comes Hernandez, and the return salvo from Pacquiao. And a left uppercut and a right hand by Hernandez, and it stuns Pacquiao momentarily. Another heavy right hand. A series of shots by Hernandez, but Pacquiao showing heart. What a comeback by Hernandez. There's a right uppercut on the chin, a straight right hand on the inside by Famoso. What a turnaround here after Hernandez was down at the end of the 2nd.
And unlike Pacquiao, when he knocked down Hernandez, Hernandez has plenty of time to try and finish.
What a start to this night. But it was almost predictable.
And look where they are, Steve, on top of each other. Pacquiao hurt Hernandez. In a sense, it was the worst thing he could do, because now they're fighting inside.
A fusillade by Hernandez. He's been much better since he was knocked down.
Time!
ground. Okay.
Head, cut, head.
That's the.
Huwag magtambay sa harap. Alis ka. Huwag ka maging fighter.
Okay, settle down. All right, Bobby. Now, Bobby. Now, if you combinations, you can't sit in front of this man and let him trade with him, okay? You gotta use your speed with your feet, okay? Get off to the side, all right? Come on.
What a comeback in round 3 for Carlos Hernandez. You notice the distance between them, but there is none. Pacquiao trying for the finish himself, got stuck on the inside. That's where Hernandez wants him. That's where Hernandez can land his punches. Pacquiao has no southpaw advantage on the inside. And after hurting Pacquiao, Hernandez threw about 100 punches, connected with a lot of them too.
So here we go again. They continue where they left off in the 3rd round. This fight perhaps setting the tone for the rest of the night, particularly for what's expected in the main event. No let up from Pacquiao as he tries to come back after Hernandez took control in the 3rd round.
Right now you see Pacquiao trying to return to his game plan, but does he have the legs to do it, is the question.
Yeah, there are some punishing blows being offered up by Hernandez. That has to be taking its toll, and it's still early in the fight. It is scheduled for 10, non-title. But an important fight for both guys as they try to climb into title contention.
Pacquiao still looking for that right uppercut when Hernandez gets low on the inside.
And a long right hand by Famoso Hernandez that landed. Body shots by Hernandez. Hernandez with Pacquiao on the ropes, not where he wants to be. The southpaw able to extricate himself. Now our first clinch as Pacquiao hangs on. Right uppercut by Hernandez. Missing with the left hook. And now those attempts by Pacquiao being blocked. Back comes Hernandez. These are really heavy body blows.
Exactly, Steve. The difference in powers was evident from the 1st round, but it's really evident now because Hernandez has opportunities to land heavy, land straight, heavy, clean shots.
So it is power against technique right now. Which one will win out in the end? Hernandez in the black with the power, and Pacquiao in the red with the technique and the speed. Another long right hand by Hernandez, and he just doesn't let up. Blood coming from his nose.
Hernandez, the veteran, not forgetting the body, and right now that's where he's hurting his man.
Pushing Pacquiao around. But Pacquiao's game as he fires back. But Freddie Roach was right about Pacquiao, Steve. He is rededicated, whether he wins or loses.
He's in great shape. You can see that. Freddie Roach has done that with him. Great sparring at the Wildcard Gym in LA. He's given himself the best chance to win. It's just he's in with a veteran who weathered a terrible storm in that 2nd round, and now it's been Hernandez ever since.
Yeah, this is a major challenge for Pacquiao. Certainly doesn't have the experience or quality of opposition or power of Hernandez.
We got to fight, you big chocolate bunny. We need a towel down here.
Joe Guzman.
I still need you.
Breathe to your mouth.
I still need you to keep it.
Listen to him. Listen to him.
Dale la vuelta.
He's telling you the right way.
Todos nosotros te estás protegiendo, at least we have to do it, ¿entendiste? And then you can fire the punches. 2 abajo y luego por dentro. 1 abajo y luego por arriba, ¿ok? Tienes que comenzar arriba y abajo.
Arriba y abajo.
Go low, go bottom. Go up. Start in the bottom, then work your way up. Just move up, move down. Keep going with the right. Hit hard.
Longtime quality cutman Miguel Diaz working feverishly in the corner of Hernandez. Hernandez trainer is Rudy Hernandez, who is not related to Carlos, but he is like family. He does have a brother who used to box, though, and that was Gennaro Hernandez. Wasn't he in Gennaro's corner against Carlos?
Exactly.
At one time?
1997, and Gennaro won that fight.
So here we go, round 5. And it continues at a fever pitch.
Steve, it now seems apparent to me Pacquiao doesn't have the legs to go back to the style that Freddie Roach would like him to box. Movement's going to be a little difficult, and Hernandez is going to get close. And that favors Hernandez big time.
Hernandez, who has dual citizenship, U.S. and El Salvador. Here's a look at the press row scoring. Unofficial scoring, Steve Kim from MaxBoxing.com, Steve Springer from the LA Times, George Willis, the New York Post.
Come on, come on.
Some caution from Toby Gibson to Pacquiao. You're going to have incidents of clashing heads and tangled feet with a southpaw and a conventional fighter. Almost inevitable.
Carlos Hernandez has been in with at least 4 southpaws, maybe more, but he knows how to fight lefties. The problem is cuts for him. He's bled in at least 3 of his last 4 fights.
And he's bleeding now.
Yeah.
He is 4-0 against lefties.
And he just got butted again.
Good job working, Bob.
As mentioned, he is a national hero in El Salvador. Presidents of that country have been known to align themselves with Famoso to win votes. That's how popular he is down there. Minute to go in round 5, scheduled for 10. No title on the line, but a fight of significance at super featherweight, 130.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Which has really become an intriguing division.
Oh, it's a great division with Pacquiao, Eric Morales dropping back down to 130. Great division. And Carlos Hernandez, certainly among the top 5 fighters in the world at this weight.
Come on, come on, break. Come on, come on.
Marco Antonio Barrera, who recently reinforced his status as the world's best in this division off the convincing points win over former champ Robbie Peter. Eric Morales' stock fell. His loss to Zahir Rahim. Got Manny Pacquiao, Jesus Chavez. Final seconds of round 5. Good action fight here in our opener of 4. And a clubbing right hand to the temple by Hernandez just before the bell.
Side to side. Now, Bobby, if you keep on the end of the jab, you make an easy fight for yourself, okay? But don't let him walk to you. You've got to meet him with the jab, okay? But don't, when you're meeting him, don't move straight back. Move off in a circle. Keep turning him, okay? Don't let him set. Make him pick his feet up, okay? When you use that jab, double, triple jab, you can't set, okay? He has to set the punch, okay? All right? Don't fight his fight. Fight your fight. He's breaking down, okay?
Bobby, pagpasok niya, side na pag-kombinasyon side, itulak na siya. Kunin mo.
You're in great shape. We can go all night long.
In round 5, butts became an issue. Initially, it was Carlos Hernandez complaining. Those are 2 Rams clashing, and you know what? It's going to happen more and more because they're on the inside the whole time now.
So we'll see if that factors in as we enter round 6. And they go right back at it. Freddie Roach in the corner of Pacquiao also trains Bobby's older brother, Manny. One of the most exciting fighters going today. Freddie and Manny have a special bond.
These guys are dipping at the same time. Their heads are going to come together again.
And again, Famoso digging to the body with the right hand. Back comes Pacquiao. Break! Up until recently, Pacquiao just a part-time fighter trying to make a living for his family. He's worked his entire life. There aren't many jobs available in the Philippines. So he's just hustled, making money where he can. As mentioned, he lives with his wife, 2 babies, in a 1-room shack with tin siding, no stove. They have to light a fire out in the dirt in their yard to cook. He is very poor. He doesn't ask for his brother's help. He's a very proud man.
That's amazing when you think of Manny Pacquiao's status in the Philippines.
Really is.
Well, Freddie Roach wanted more jabs from Pacquiao. He's getting them, but after one or two, they're just little flicks with nothing on them, and you're just begging to be counterpunched when you jab like that.
He may be tiring as a result of the body blows, the punishment being severely dished out by Hernandez. Warning from Toby Gibson to Pacquiao, pushing off. Hernandez got his nickname Famoso as a kid, given to him by his grandfather. He'd come home after getting into scrapes. His grandpa said, "You keep doing that, someday you'll be famous." But you know what? Hernandez actually first got into boxing to lose weight. Hey, maybe somebody should say that to Jose Luis Castro.
Oh, you set yourself up there, Steve.
I'm just getting started.
The best shots in this round have been body punches, and they're coming from Hernandez.
Down late in the second, he's come back strong since. But some very good exchanges in the fight throughout. Crowd continues to settle in here at the Thomas & Mack. Capacity about 18,000 for boxing. Getting ready for the big main event, Morales Castillo 2 later tonight. Another great fight I'm looking forward to is Arce Hussein just before the main event in a rematch. Hernandez with a big finish to the round.
We need to get these last rounds, okay? We need to stop his ass. There's no tomorrow, okay? Todo lo que te tengas aquí. Cargas un pueblo encima. ¿Entendiste? You have a whole country on your shoulders, guys.
You need to knock down. You need to knock down.
You got to stay on his ass. Él se mueve para un lado, tú córtale la salida.
He moves to the
Él
right,
se
you
mueve
move
para este
too.
lado, tírale abajo.
You go to the body.
You understand? You understand, Carl? Yeah. You got to get this guy. Okay? We're not going to get a decision. We got to knock him out.
Come on,
So
Carly.
the only way to knock him out is that you got to put your punches together.
What do you want?
Two to the body, up the middle, and then to the body. Pero búscale, buscándole la ciudad. Y esa mano, necesito que esa mano esté aquí. Protégete con la mendiga mano de perdida. Right, Carlos?
Former welterweight fighter Rudy Hernandez in the face of Carlos Hernandez. Rudy replaced Amilcar Brusca, who used to train Carlos Monzon. Went about as far as he could with Carlos. Hernandez then moved on. Rudy Hernandez joined El Famoso for the Jesus Chavez fight.
And Hernandez getting instruction in English and Spanish in the corner, but basically it all came down to two words in any language: smother him.
Come here, both. Quit the wrestling. Watch your head. Watch the wrestling. No wrestling. Let's go.
Little summit conference called by referee Toby Gibson. Trying to clean it up. And the exchanges continue. But once again, the heavy hands of Hernandez seem to give him the upper hand in the long run.
Body punch by Pacquiao. We haven't seen too much of that.
Right uppercut, sending Pacquiao back to the ropes. He gets right back into it, though.
Break! Come on.
But this smothering attack by Carlos Hernandez is nothing new to Famoso fans. But you have to admire the resolve of Bobby Pacquiao. Just keeps throwing.
You do, Steven. You know what this shows is what a difference a good trainer can make. This guy's lost 11 fights. He's been stopped 6 times. Look how competitive he's being with a top 10 junior lightweight, because Freddie Roach has him in great shape and has been working with him.
Pacquiao in the red, getting pummeled here. Here's the press row scoring through 6. How do you see it, Steve?
I have Hernandez by 4 points. I disagree with the writers. I have him comfortably ahead.
Famoso chasing Pacquiao across the ring. Big round for Hernandez. Very Very one-sided round for Famoso with a minute to go. But back comes Pacquiao, although he's missing there. The effort is there, but Hernandez too elusive defensively. But he just keeps throwing, does Pacquiao.
Loads of heart from Pacquiao, but it's tough to discourage Carlos Hernandez. He's made a career out of just chugging forward and working the body and doing it from first to last belt.
2 long rights by Hernandez. You're right, this is pretty much just playing into Hernandez's hands. Are you surprised he doesn't box more from the outside and flick the jab to set up his power left? Talking about Pacquiao.
It's a question of whether he has the legs to do that. I think he'd like to. He'd like to use his jab more. But that early barrage in round 3 and then the body punching you see right there has taken a lot out of him.
Well, Pacquiao, he wants to go out on his shield if he does go out. He's standing right in with Famoso Hernandez. And there's the brother in attendance. Manny Pacquiao, super featherweight contender, former IBF super or junior featherweight champion. Rated number 2 behind Eric Morales.
Right inside, you can let your hands go. All right? Right here.
Sabi ni Coach, pag sumuntok ka sa loob, sumuntok ka na sumuntok. Kung sa labas ka, laro ka.
He's walking right into your straight left hand. Straight left hand, come back with the hook for me, okay? All right? Get your foot on the outside and throw that straight left hand hard, okay? Like you mean it, son, okay? Dig down deep. All right? Straight left hand, come back with the hook for me, okay? All right? Combination.
And you see, that's his wife right there in the middle of the screen, Veronica.
And also his manager, she's a licensed psychologist, Veronica Hernandez. They met at a fight. I think it was a Julio Cesar Chavez, Tony Lopez fight. That's what Carlos was telling me. So that's appropriate.
Yeah, a boxer and a psychologist, that's some mix, isn't it? Good start to this round 8 for Pacquiao. See if he can maintain it. Throwing it, using it, moving his hands and moving. That's what Freddie Roach wants. Again, just a question of whether he has the legs to do it for 3 minutes.
Pacquiao 25-11-3 with 11 knockouts, an 8-year pro. He's in the red. Hernandez 41-5-1 with 24 knockouts, a 13-year pro in the short black trunks with the blue trim.
We knew Pacquiao was better than his record, Steve, but we really, there wasn't much to judge him by. His fight with Carlos Navarro, his last fight, his big win, was a very strange fight where, first of all, Pacquiao couldn't move in the ring because he's sliding with bad shoes all over the place. And then Navarro counted himself out with the referee, literally counting with the referee up to 10 and quitting in the middle of the ring. So it was kind of hard to tell how much of that was Pacquiao and how much was Navarro just not wanting to fight.
Pacquiao could sense that Navarro did not want to continue. Freddie Roach was telling us that he called Justin Fortune, a former heavyweight fighter, in the corner of Pacquiao to tell them what to do. Put the tape on the opposite way around the shoe to give him traction.
Right, that the gummy side on the canvas.
Right.
And once he got his traction, he fought very well against Navarro.
But that showed a lot of cuts and courage too, because he was, I mean, he was skating all over the ring. The ring became a rink, but he hung in there.
And as Hernandez comes in, Steve, now it's very important to keep his hands up as he comes in, because Pacquiao's only hope right now is to land a straight left with Hernandez walking right into it.
Scheduled for 10. Some excellent exchanges throughout this fight. Famoso, very aggressive, backing Pacquiao to the ropes. Pacquiao in a very vulnerable position there, able to get out.
That was a veteran move. He was stuck on the ropes, he grabbed, spun out, got free.
Final seconds of round 8. Hernandez finishes with a solid straight right. Well, later tonight in our main event from Las Vegas, Corrales, Castillo 2. The rival earlier of Jose Luis Castillo comes off a day to forget, failing to make weight for one of the most eagerly awaited rematches in boxing history. The fans reacting, they can see it on the big screen. First tipping the scales, we're told, at 137, 2 over the limit, came back again, 137. An hour and 10 minutes later weighed more, 138.5. So the fight was changed to a 12-round non-title bout. And the arrival earlier of Diego Corrales, hearing some boos from the crowd, looking a lot different than the last time we saw him near a boxing ring. His face battered and bruised by the fists of Castillo, and he won. He said it took him 2 weeks to physically recover inside and out. How about that fan reaction?
Very interesting. Tells me there are a lot of Mexican fans here.
Well, Corrales invited a painful, bloody, brutal war, and that's exactly what he got. And both say they will not change anything. They will fight exactly the same way they fought 5 months ago back on May 7th. Almost exactly 5 months ago to the day. Round 9 scheduled for 10. And what has been a crowd-pleasing, action-packed affair. Super featherweight action. Carlos Hernandez, Bobby Pacquiao. Hernandez with a clubbing right. Slow start for Hernandez, even put down for only the second time in his career, late round 2, but then he came on strong, and it's been his fight pretty much ever since.
In a sense, Steve, worst thing Pacquiao did was put him down.
Yeah.
It changed his style, it brought him on the inside, he looked for the finish, and he got hurt himself.
So in essence, Famoso getting his wake-up call in the second, and he's been very much awake ever since.
Come on, punch you, get out.
And how about you, Steve, at this point?
Now, Hernandez 78-72. I have not given Pacquiao a round since that knockdown round in the second.
Steve Kim of MaxBoxing.com has it even.
I'll talk to Steve about that.
Okay. Dicky body shots by Famoso Hernandez. Pacquiao offering up a straight left there, but not much steam behind it. A lot of it has been taken out by those body shots by Hernandez. Interesting about Hernandez, he throws so many punches, his work rate is so high, but he's also very accurate. Like right there, the right hand, right through the guard.
Yeah, he's going to hit something, whether it's the chin or the body or an arm or a shoulder. He's going to hit you.
That's his strategy. Just keep throwing.
And it's a good round for Pacquiao because he's doing the one thing he needs to do, plant his feet, throw that left hand.
And back comes Hernandez with a left uppercut. And Pacquiao with a right-left combination. Hernandez again, sizzling to the body. Nice left hand by Pacquiao. Hernandez, relentless, no let up, right on the ear, then uppercuts, lefts, his entire arsenal. Beautiful combination to the head by Famoso. It's like a whirling dervish, a windmill.
Hernandez trying to steal this round because it was Pacquiao's round for 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
A tornado-like finish by Famoso Hernandez.
Bobby, how you feel? Good. Okay, then show me you feel good, okay, son? Let's go out there and fight this fight. Bobby, you've got 1 round. You've got 3 minutes of your life right now, son.
Last round.
You've got 3 minutes, okay?
Give me this, give me this.
Hey, you want to be fucking champion, you go out there and fight this guy, you hear me? All right? Go out there and fight this guy hard, okay? You can knock this guy down again, can't you?
I think we're going to have a good decision. I'm going to get a good decision until we got to this business. So you come out. Respira duro, con la boca, vamos. Respira. You got it. Rip that fucking body.
Here we go. They'll touch gloves for the 10th and final round.
Come on, touch gloves.
And Freddie Roach doing the Newt Rockne speech in the corner of Pacquiao. And this is pretty much it. Conventional wisdom would dictate that Pacquiao needs a knockout to win this fight, but you never know.
Very low right hand by Pacquiao, and Hernandez on the ropes. We haven't seen that all fight.
Well, Pacquiao jumping on Hernandez. He's going to have to stay on him and smother him all round long. Problem is, he can't just win the round. He's got to knock Hernandez out, it would seem.
Pacquiao's not going to knock him out unless he gets a little distance so that he can extend that left hand.
And that doesn't seem to be in his mindset as he continues to fight from close range. Now he takes one step back only because he was pushed back by the ref. And then there's a good left hand by Pacquiao to the head.
That's it.
Well, that got Hernandez's attention. Hernandez, who was down with 4 seconds left in round 2. So Pacquiao at least knows that he could put Hernandez down. He's done it already. And Hernandez going down for only the 2nd time in his illustrious career, 47 fights. Another good left hand to the chin by Pacquiao. Back comes Hernandez. Couple of right hands that startled Pacquiao.
Excellent fight. Yeah, grueling fight, Steve.
Almost all from the inside. Fighting in the proverbial phone booth with a minute left in the fight. Great ebb and flow, but a fight that seems to be favoring Hernandez, who just flips Pacquiao through the ropes.
Let's go.
Very rarely do you see those roughhouse tactics by Hernandez, usually on the up and up, plays by the rules. Perhaps a little frustrated by Pacquiao, who just won't go away.
Yeah, and Pacquiao, I know I have Hernandez comfortably ahead, but it's not like Pacquiao's not landing shots. All you have to do is look at Hernandez's face, swelling over his right eye, a big round apple-sized swelling under the left eye. He's taking shots.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some close scores here. Hernandez trying to finish with a flurry. Furious action here at the end of the fight. Should get a good cheer from the crowd when the bell sounds.
Good fight, both of you.
And Toby Gibson, the third man, says, good fight, both of you. Hernandez hugging Freddie Roach, the trainer of Bobby Pacquiao. It really was a good fight.
And a good comeback by Pacquiao in rounds 9 and 10 to make it, on my card, at least much closer.
So we will now await the scorecards here in Las Vegas. Carlos Hernandez, who will soon be 35 in January, hoisted to the shoulders by trainer Rudy Hernandez. Getting a smattering of applause from the crowd that continues to build as they stand by for the big main event of Corrales-Castillo. But I think we got ourselves off to a nice start here now in this fight, kind of setting the tone.
Exactly. Inside the whole way, much like in May, Corrales-Castillo.
And Bobby Pacquiao went at it with Carlos Hernandez, mostly on the inside, chose to fight in that fashion. And just like in the main event, we'll see if Corrales chooses to fight on the inside again with Castillo. Of course, he did it at his own risk back in May, but won. A lot of people feel he will perhaps modify his style later tonight and become more of a boxer puncher. We shall see.
It seemed in the middle rounds that Carlos Hernandez was coming on. It was simply too strong. But in rounds 9 and here in round 10, Pacquiao coming back, digging his feet in, and throwing that left hand, which he landed, knocked Hernandez down in the second round with. But we're going back and forth here. Hernandez landing as well. See that left hand? That was the punch that Pacquiao needed, but he needed to knock Hernandez down again, if not stop him. And then at the very end of round 10, the end of the fight, a fitting ending, good action both ways. But Hernandez, big wide shots. Pacquiao a little tired, a little off balance. His glove's not up, and he gets hit.
Some excellent back and forth action. Carlos Hernandez with his wife / manager Veronica Hernandez, as mentioned, a licensed psychologist, and so he'll along with Veronica await the judge's decision. We're set to get it right now, so let's get it up to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, we have a split decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Robert Hoyle, scores the bout 97-92 in favor of Carlos Hernandez. Judge at ringside, Chuck Giampa, scores the bout 95-94 in favor of Bobby Pacquiao. Judge at ringside, Dwayne Ford, scores the bout 95-93 in favor of the winner, Bobby Pacquiao.
Wow, total disbelief on the face of Carlos Hernandez, and I got to tell you, I don't blame him. And you hear the crowd reaction. That is a very, very questionable decision. So controversy right out of the gate tonight from Las Vegas. Isn't that interesting?
And the one judge that scored for Hernandez, Robert Hoyle, had him 5 points ahead. That's even wider than my card.
Unbelievable. Yeah, one judge had Hernandez winning 97-92. And look at the class being exhibited here by Carlos Hernandez, despite the questionable decision. 95-94 Pacquiao, and then 95-93 Pacquiao. But yeah, quite a disparity with that first judge having Hernandez up by 5 points. So what a way to start. I guess Pacquiao needed to win round 10 to win the fight. He did it on 2 cards, split decision.
Yeah, I thought he took 9 and 10.
So Carlos Hernandez, very emotional here. And again, you hear the crowd reaction as Pacquiao celebrates, but Carlos Hernandez in total disbelief. And again, I don't blame him.
So he's crying in the corner there. He's almost 35 years old, and at this point in his career against this kind of opponent with 11 losses, this is not a loss that he can easily write off.
Tough to take, tough to digest for Hernandez, putting up a good front there, smiling at the crowd. Well, you saw his reaction. Check out the reaction of his wife, manager Veronica, when the decision is announced. Oh my. Obviously displeased, and they thought they were robbed. And there's the reaction as Hernandez is hoisted to the shoulders, and he's hearing it from the crowd. The fans here, as you look at Veronica, who is just distraught, the fans here think that he was robbed, obviously.
Wow, bittersweet moment for Hernandez. In 1 second he's crying in the corner, the next second he's on his handler's shoulders and receiving, soaking in the applause of the crowd.
Talk about a gamut of emotions. So an important victory for Bobby Pacquiao, but a very controversial victory at that. And there goes Bobby Pacquiao, who may have gotten himself an early Christmas present here tonight, Steve. Pacquiao defeats the former champ Hernandez, raises his record to 26-11-3. Hernandez drops to 41-6-1, a rugged loss, very tough to swallow, particularly given the nature of the decision. Here are the judges' official scorecards, Steve. There it is.
Well, obviously the knockdown in round 2, at least on Chuck Giampa's card, was the difference between this fight being a draw and a win for Pacquiao. But Hernandez just liked, Hoyle just liked Hernandez's aggressiveness, the shorter punches. The other judges went for the longer, maybe flashier punches of Pacquiao.
All 3 judges from Las Vegas. So Ford and Giampa had Pacquiao winning, and Hoyle could probably be elected mayor by this crowd here for his 5-point score for Hernandez. And there's the press row scoring. They saw it a little differently. All three had it.
Wow.
For Hernandez.
Yeah, I had it 96-92, and these guys are more on my page. I mean, he was clearly the stronger fighter and landed more shots, no doubt.
Well, Steve Kim had it even for a good portion of the fight, and didn't you think Pacquiao won the 9th and 10th? So he apparently saw it the other way. Yeah, with Hernandez winning the 9th and 10th. Okay. What a start. Here we go. Coming up next from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, one of the most famous and legendary names in the annals of boxing, undefeated Julio bout that has the makings of an all-action affair. Former IBF super featherweight champion Carlos Famoso Hernandez will go against a familiar boxing surname. He's Bobby Pacquiao, and it's a fight that could serve as a springboard to title contention. It has not been an easy road for Bobby Pacquiao. 16 months younger than his more well-known brother, former world champ Manny Pacquiao. Bobby, with his older brother, grew up in very difficult conditions in the Philippines, but while Manny has made a comfortable transition, Bobby still struggles living in a little shack with his wife and 2 babies, trying to make ends meet. Apparently, Bobby just too proud to ask for help from Manny. Ring-wise, Bobby, like Manny, is a southpaw, comes off his career best win, a 7th-round knockout of Carlos Navarro. And tonight, Steve, he really wants to prove that he belongs. He wants to prove how good he is.
Well, Steve, I think we're going to find out just how good he is because, all right, he's making a huge jump up in class. We understand that. But he's given himself the best chance to be at his best because he's been training in California with Freddie Roach. That's a huge advantage as opposed to training in the Philippines.
And Freddie Roach wasn't sure at first if Pacquiao's heart was truly in it, but he feels now that he's got the right attitude. He's got a lot of confidence since the win over Navarro, an embrace from his brother earlier, Manny Pacquiao. Bobby is 7-1-1 in his last 9 fights. And he knows he's up against it tonight against a seasoned pro, 13-year veteran Carlos Famoso Hernandez. But Bobby looking very confident. Behind him is the highly regarded trainer from Los Angeles, Freddie Roach. And here is the Salvadoran American, Famoso Hernandez. His parents from El Salvador, where he is a national hero, a friend of presidents who often come see him fight. The first and only world champion of Salvadoran descent, coming off a stirring affair, a close split decision loss to Jesus Chavez a few weeks after the first Castillo-Corrales fight. That a blistering slugfest that drew raves. Hernandez is, Steve, one of those classic old-fashioned California. He says, you know what, I got to do it now because I'm running out of time. I turned 35 in January.
And 35, Steve, for this weight class is very old.
He also says he's getting hungry. He's in a very light weight class and he's tired of holding back, you know. He wants to eat more. He also wants to get into some business and get on with his life. But another title or two wouldn't hurt. So there he is, Famoso Hernandez, who is getting ready to do battle with Bobby Pacquiao. Let's size them up as we check out the tail of the tape. Biggest disparity in age. Hernandez turns 35 in January, as we said, 9 years older than Pacquiao. The height nearly even. 4-inch reach advantage for Pacquiao. And yesterday's weigh-in, Hernandez 132, Pacquiao 130. There is some flexibility on the scales in a non-title affair. And the key rules for this fight: there's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt occurs before the end of the 4th round, the fight's ruled a no decision. If it happens after the end of round 4, they go to the scorecards. So here at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas, getting ready for Carlos Hernandez versus Bobby Pacquiao. Super featherweight scheduled for 10 rounds. Let's get the introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the Thomas & Mack Center here on the campus of UNLV in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we have a big night of action in store for you. And it's all brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions and Top Rank Incorporated in association with Caesars Palace, Wynn Resorts, and Showtime. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we present a special attraction coming your way. Introducing to you first our three judges, all from Las Vegas, Nevada. We have Dwayne Ford, Chuck Jumpa, and Robert Hoyle. Introducing to you our third man to the ring, the referee in charge of this action, Toby Gibson. All right, fans, here we go with a super featherweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of
throwback type fighters who never backs up. I think the last jab he threw was in 1997.
I think you're right, Steve, exactly. You know, this guy first challenged for a world title 8 years ago, and he's been facing nothing but top junior lightweights ever since. Eric Morales, Floyd Mayweather, Famoso Hernandez. He's been incredibly consistent. He's incredibly exciting because he's always coming forward and throwing punches. And you know what? There's not a more honest fighter right now in the game, Steve.
He's honest, he's classy, he's dignified, a true professional. When Jesus Chavez was announced as the winner in that tremendous brawl 5 months ago, Hernandez applauded him. And he wanted to let the fans out there know that he's dedicating this fight to those suffering from a recent hurricane and volcano in El Salvador. So he does some last-minute praying. Carlos Famoso Hernandez will be taking on Bobby Pacquiao. There's the Salvadoran flag. He calls himself a Salvadoran American, although he was raised in California. Also lives in West Covina, California.